Do you want to give an intro for this? Because it's killed you inside. I know it's killing me.
Yeah. Essentially, Sam at the moment is doing a series of videos. Your 100 favourite movies, not 100 best movies.
That's very important.
100 favourite movies, movie equivalent of comfort food. You know, your favourite films that you go to. And it took you a while to do your list, and you're doing a video.
I'm still picking at it.
Yeah. I made the mistake of thinking I'll do the same thing.
I warned you though, didn't I? I was like the old guy at the beginning of The Fog. Don't do it, man. Yeah. You don't want any of it.
I was thinking about the old guy in South Park. Was like, you don't want to go down that route. A lot of bad things happen on that route. But yeah, I thought I'll do my 100 favourite movies. How hard can it be? 4 weeks later, I'm still.
Rang me up screaming.
Yeah. Well, I literally got to a point where I thought, right, here's the best thing to do. I'm going to write down 100 movies that I love on little bits of paper, and I'm going to arrange them on the living room floor because I have a laminate floor.
And I told you not to do it like that.
I'll arrange them in order of preference and stuff, and of course. My lovely girlfriend, who I love the bones of.
I think she's been surprisingly understanding given the circumstances.
Well, she tolerated it and accidentally stepped through the list, knocked them all out of sequence, and of course I hadn't written it down. So I had to start again.
Bear in mind, I live a good 40-50 miles away. I heard the scream from my house.
So this is essentially what the list looks like at the moment, and it's not complete. There's going to be stuff taken out and stuff added. What we wanted to talk about was the nature and the absolute mental trial of making lists, because it's something that I'm sure everybody in the film community does or has done or will do time and time again, because it's part of being a collector.
Yeah. It's also part of the conversation. How many times a bunch of movie nerds got together and chatted, alright, favourite top 3, Chuck Norris,
again, it's like High Fidelity.
Yeah.
It's literally, our lives are becoming more and more like High Fidelity every
I don't want to be Jack Black, man, he's annoying.
But so it's kind of born out of that conversation that we've all had, you know, so what are your top 5 sci-fi movies, what are your top 5 horror movies, and your videos so far, how far have you gotten down the countdown? Have you done the first 10?
I've done the first 10. See, the thing is, and I want to say this, the problem is with the 100 favourite, this is just a problem with filming it. I want to do it right, so what I'm doing is I'm re-watching the movie so I can talk about it properly. And the thing is, you'll find yourself re-watching it and then you'll go, I like it, but is it really supposed to be in the list? And then you'll pull one out and then it's just like House of Straw, man. Yeah. Literally House of Straw. So there is that, but yeah, it is very cathartic.
It is quite therapeutic, except when I thought I'd finished my list and written it all down, and I read it out to Laura, she just sat there for a couple of seconds and then
said, where's this, and this?
She just went, where's the Wizard of Oz? Fuck!
Well, I did that, didn't I? I was like, well, where's one on fire? Fuck!
Yeah. So it is really hard making a list, but it's, what criteria do you use to make a list? A film that you would consider one of your top 100 favourites. It's like, for example, I would probably have, and I don't think it's in there at the moment, but it's going in, because of the videos I'm doing for Halloween, the remake of The Crazies. For me, would be my top 100. It's movie comfort food. Yeah. It's a film that when I don't know what to watch or I can't decide what to watch, The Crazies one I'll whip off the shelf and put it in, and because it's entertaining and I really like it. And
I've got the original of The Crazies on its way actually in a couple of days.
Really?
So, yeah, let's give that a watch.
We will. I've never seen the original.
No, I mean.
But does that fit the criteria of you to go into your 100 favourite movies? Is it a movie that you will literally chuck on because it's comfortable? Yeah. It's like a pair of shoes.
Yeah. And there's the other extreme. So there's a spoiler for mine is that in my next segment is Magnolia. Now I love that film. I love it, but I can only watch it about once every 6 months because it is so exhausting.
Yeah, it
emotionally.
But it's a film that even if it's one that you don't necessarily go back to every few weeks, even if it is months or years, if it's one you keep going back to, it still fits that same criteria. It's a film you gravitate towards.
Yeah.
And I'd say Magnolia is on my list. I've got it on here somewhere.
Magnolia plays much higher on yours than on mine.
Yeah, I do. Magnolia, I do love. I have a little bit of history with that film, or rather, I watched it at a very specific point in my life.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of that sort of connotation that comes from it. But I mean, on my list, a couple of spots. I won't tell you where they come in the list because I'm going to do a series of videos for this. But it's like I've got stuff like Brian De Palma's Dressed to Kill.
I really need to see that.
That is a good movie. I mean, it gets a bad rap because people say, "Oh, it's all style over substance." It's De Palma in
Halloween Countdown.
It's not a horror movie.
It's not a horror movie.
No, I can't go as far as to call that a horror film. But
see, I'm wondering if the movie we watched tonight, if that's going to sneak its way in there.
It might possibly. But with Brian De Palma's Dressed to Kill, you know, and people complain it's style over substance, there's nothing there, blah blah blah. I refute that. It's basically Psycho set in New York, and it's Brian De Palma in the mid-80s. Of course, it's excessive. That's what he does.
Yeah.
You know,
he don't know what he should do, does he?
No, he doesn't know what the word subtle means.
No.
He saw the word subtle and he hit it with a sledgehammer because it scared him.
Yeah.
So
he saw the word subtle, said, "Can we put it in a shower, have its tits out, and then cut it up?"
Basically. But it's like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Your favourite film is like halfway on my list.
Yeah.
So
we said that it's like our list's 2/3 pretty much were the same.
Yeah, we have probably 2/3 of the movies are the same, but the places are different. Yeah, much different order. I think, you know, when you look at the list and you take chunks of it, you can see patterns emerging.
Yeah.
In terms of genre, like you'll find a lot of one genre stuck together. Like a lot of the middle of my list is thriller or horror. The top of the list, like the favourite movies are like either dramas or sort of like maybe Terry Gilliam style musings on 9 to 5 work and bits and pieces like that. So
I'll tell you one thing as well that affects someone's list. And you're gonna think I'm daft here, but bear with me. Whether or not we're in a couple.
You reckon?
Yeah.
How so?
Because I reckon your film taste change very much when you're single. Right? For 100... Right. I said this to someone, because I said the same to you, because I knew that when you compile the list, you'd be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Right? 100 best is different. You go... If I had to do 100 best, I'd probably put in films I didn't like.
I'm just going to get a drink while you talk about it. Do you want anything?
I'm good, man.
No.
Alright. 100 best, I'd probably put in films I didn't like. Okay? But I would put them in because they're films I admire. 100 favourite is different. It's the one where you have to go, be really honest with yourself and go, the movie's shit, but I love it. Right? Spoiler. I will be putting in, at some point, in my 100 favourite movies, the Dolph Lundgren He-Man movie. It's a piece of shit. I love it. I think it's great. Actually, mate, I'll grab another can of Coke.
Can of Coke?
Yes, please.
One can of Coke coming up.
One can of Coke. But basically, it's honesty. And the amount of people I know who've gone, oh, I've got my 100 favourite movies. Yes, I have a Fellini film in my top 2. Really? Really? Is that honestly your favourite film? Might be a film you admire, but is it actually your favourite? Do you watch it for pleasure? Maybe they do, I don't know. But I think they love, I'll call them hipsters. I don't think they're honest with themselves as to what the kind of movies they genuinely like. I mean, what you've said before, film is completely subjective.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, but I feel that, well, it's like I've said to you, don't get me wrong, Drive. I love Drive. I absolutely love Drive. But you got to admit, Drive has become Avatar for hipsters.
Yeah.
It really has. Drive is Avatar for hipsters. Because Drive didn't make my top 100.
I don't think it's made mine. Bronson has.
Bronson I need to put in. That was another
one.
Fuck!
We love Bronson and we talk about Bronson all the time. You know, it's one of our go-to movies when we're together and then we want something to watch. We'll chuck Bronson on and I couldn't believe that you didn't put it in your top 100.
No.
Hang your head in shame, sir.
That blew in Vid Ninja's mind, actually. Ollie.
Yeah?
When I said, he dug Bronson.
Good old Ollie.
That's his new obsession.
No, Bronson is a very good film, but it's like you say, you do get a lot of people when they're doing lists putting stuff on there that they don't actually like. You know, I mean, I'm trying to think, are there any sort of...
Can I just have a quick scan down?
You may. I mean, most of what's on my list are kind of films that you get the big populist blockbusters from like the 80s that I grew up with. There's a lot of John Carpenter on there, some foreign films, but it's all like Park Chan-wook stuff. You've got stuff like...
You've been honest with yourself then, mate. You've been honest with yourself, especially in the placing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the placing was the hardest part for me.
Compiling it's easy. It's the placing that's hard.
And I mean, looking here, I've even got some direct-to-DVD movies on here. You know, I don't...
I'm saying you had a lot of John Carpenter on. I was surprised how much John Carpenter actually...
I think I actually had to cut some John Carpenter to make room for other people. And at the moment, because this isn't the final draft, at the moment there's no Scorsese on here.
Yeah. I only have one. I have one Scorsese.
Casino.
Yeah. It's really surprising. So everyone goes, Goodfellas. The thing is, Goodfellas, I love it. Goodfellas is a great movie. But for me, Casino is one where they basically went, these people are cartoon characters. It's grand opera, which is why I kind of get on board with it more.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I'll tell you the thing about John Carpenter, and it's the thing about lists. Films can also, like you said, it's like you with Magnolia, films are associated with memory. When I think of John Carpenter, it sounds daft, I think of my dad. There's a lot of John Carpenter films. This is where I was fortunate, not to digress too much, but my mum worked nights. So basically what I did was, I'd watch a lot of movies with my dad.
Yeah.
You know, this is back in the days when you'd go down the video shop.
Yeah.
I'm a child of the 80s, early 90s. And it was just the thing of, you know, with my dad, and we watched like Escape from New York and Southern Comfort, which I know is a Walter Hill movie, but I watch these guy movies and I love them because they're awesome, but also it were bonding time with me and my dad.
Yeah.
Hell, we watched American Ninja.
Well, I'll never forget the time that my dad took me to Blockbusters when I was about 8 and rented the first Die Hard movie.
Awesome.
And even the guy behind the counter was, I'll never forget it, the guy behind the counter was like, good choice.
Yeah.
It's Die Hard. But movies do hold that certain connection with people and what they represented when you watched them at that point in your life. And I think a lot of that goes into a list. I think when you look at your list of 100 favourite movies, you should be able to pinpoint
where you were.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously Empire Strikes Back, which is the only Star Wars movie on my list.
See, I only have Star Wars on mine.